Hi, hi everyone, I'm back again bafethu. This is your boy Simthembile. This is Mzansi Political Journal bafethu. Sibuyile ngezinye indaba. So now the vote has happened and the DNU man they failed to stop it. So now they're trying to go to the courts. However, there's this story here written by who they went to the courts with the EFF to try and stop the passing of the GNU of the budget vote. So Zille now warns Ramaphosa. She says removing DA ministers would end GNU. This article is written by Simon Majab Dibodu. The Democratic Alliance Federal Council chairperson Hellen Zille has issued a stern warning to President Cyril Ramaphosa that if he reshuffles his cabinet and shows the A ministers the door, it would mark the end of the government of national unity. No, it won't want. Apparently, according to the ANC, Figelis Balula's ANC, don't they will invite other partners, and you guys know that very well too. And you said it that these people, the business written to you, they put pressure on you to put out MK and EFF. So don't say the GNU will end, just say the A will be out of the GNU. Like many people wish that would happen, especially the far left people. We have a coalition agreement that we have a specific number in the cabinet less than it would have, but indeed we do have a specific number. If he Ramaphosa does that, it's his choice to end the GNU. Simple as that, Zille said in an interview with the SABC News. The DA joined the GNU after the African National Congress failed to garner enough support to govern alone during last year's general election. The Blue Party has 6 ministers and 6 deputy ministers in the GNU. So now the DA is in power. Someone needs to do an audit. However, it's been a very little time since the DA has been in power there. Very little time. Since May, come on now. I don't think they have enough time to make the change that's needed. So we can judge them. That you guys you had these ministers and ministries and you failed. But nah. You need to give them time. However, I don't think they have much time. Zille remarks come amid calls from the ANC members urging ANC President Ramaphosa to take action against the DA after it did not support the passage of the 2025 national budget. However, on Tuesday, IOL News reported that the ANC National Working Committee has decided to maintain its working relationship with the DA in the GNU, or the ANC Working Committee. They don't have backbones, but those ones, Magwalanyana, probably they were bribed or they were threatened, something along those lines. Because Cyril really seems like he's powerful. Cyril, you might undermine Cyril Ramaphosa in the NC, but it seems like the guy is powerful there. This decision comes despite the intense opposition related to the recent approved 0.5 VAT increase proposed by the National Treasury, which has sparked significant backlash, particularly from opposition parties. The ANC-led government managed to pass the budget with the controversial VAT hike through support from other smaller parties, including those outside the GNU, such as Action SA. So if the DA goes, it will be replaced by the likes of Action SA. Come on, even though they have small numbers, but they could manage to have 50%. I think so. They would manage. As calls grow for Cyril Ramaphosa to fire the DA from the GNU, Zille said if he takes the decision to put the ministers out, it will signal the end of the GNU. No, Mzansi. Can't you when you the crew of the GNU as the TA? Come on now. They've passed several laws in your front of your eyes with that way you were opposing. Can't you see that the sign that you're not that important the GNU? That's the sign. They've passed laws under your nose and the laws that you not agree with. So come on now. Wake up and smell the black cough. It's not your house. See what I did there? Well, well, that will be his signal that it is the end of the GNU, and then he will have to put a 10-party coalition. Good luck with it, she said. Come on, that's not the GNU. When you're out of it, it's a coalition. Come on, that's the GNU. I don't know some things. What's the GNU? It's the GNU when there's the DA involved, but then when there's no DAs, other parties, the collision. Because people are calling this the grand collision between the DA and the ANC. They're not calling the government of national unity because there are other parties that are outside. And the DA and the ANC have enough percentage to rule this government. So other parties are just there according to other people. Are just there eating numbers. But they've proven wrong because they're important, clearly. They managed to help the ANC pass its budget vote. It's simple. We have said that they have to negotiate the budget and agree our terms to our terms. We have terms on the table, of all which are entirely rational. She said, all of those terms are designed to do one thing: kickstart growth and get jobs, which is the most basic thing for us to do if we want a budget in future. But why don't you say those? Why don't you spell those things to the voters so that the voters will be attracted to you? Now you're holding those ideas, and we need ideas, Helen. We need ideas that will make us grow as a country. But you guys, you want the pillar to be scrapped. Those are your ideas. Come on. She said if the party had not insisted on those terms, they would have been doing their job. When pressed with another question on whether it makes sense for the DA cabinet ministers who rejected the budget to remain in the GNU and implement programs funded by the budget, they had strongly opposed. Zille said, well, of course, because the bottom line is that we were supposed to enter into sufficient consensus agreement on the budget with the ANC, quote and unquote. The ANC went behind our back and fooled Action SA and the other parties that they would assess the VAT increase before the end of this month. How obviously they can't do that, she added. Zille claimed that Action SA, which is led by Herman Mashaba and other opposition parties outside the GNU, were fooled into backing the budget passage. We said that it can't happen, and so we basically said bring in these economic reforms, allow a spending review, do regular review, kickstart growth, and where it's total rational and reasonable. If we did not do that, the country and the international community, especially the unemployed South Africans, would have every reason to be angry with us, Zille said. The party has since filed an urgent court application at the Western Cape High Court to interdict the implementation of the 0.5 value-added tax increase. So the DA told the ANC guys, the DA gave NCI some ideas that they need to do these economic reforms, allow spending review, do regularly review, kickstart growth, and where it's total and rational and reasonable. Do you think the ANC would allow that? They need to sell these ideas to the voters. The ANC wouldn't allow that because the ANC they stole everything. So if you do a spending review, now you start to see which tenders were unduly given. Yeah? You will start to see a lot of corruption. So the ANC would never allow that, ever. So now you need to sell your ideas to the voters, guys, and the voters need to listen. So, guys, do you think the DA need to insist on staying on the GNU, or they need to get out of the GNU? Because the GNU, the ANC will affect them with their incompetence, man. They will affect them with their incompetence. Please, guys, subscribe and like Buffett. This is Mtembele. This is your boy, Mtembele. This is Mzansi Political Channel, Buffett. I'm out. See you on the next video.